Hi, this is Stephen Brower, and welcome to CISY217 Operating Systems for the Spring 2016 semester. This video is meant to be a brief overview of the tools that we're going to be using for this course. There'll be other videos that will get into either the content, the material, and another video will get into the specifics of submitting homework in lab. Usually I begin this video by going through how you can access a copy of the syllabus and the schedule from the school's webpage without logging on to any system. This is in case WebStudy is down or LionsDen is down and you want to take a look at the schedule. It's a way you can at least see what the schedule is. That is in transition. We're getting a new server, a Linux server, and our stuff's being ported over. It's not there yet. And so any of the links that are from the school's webpage won't exactly be correct. So I can't go into that. What I can partly go into is now from within LionsDen itself, you can at least take a peek at what the class schedule is and the syllabus in case RVCC is down. So from within LionsDen, and I went into the click here to, and then I clicked on the operating systems course, and then when I first go in on the right hand side, there's links to both the syllabus and the class schedule. Now I'll bring those up from within WebStudy, but this is in case for some reason WebStudy is down. You can then at least see what the schedule is from here. Now, some teachers will set up LionsDen so that when you click on the course, it goes straight into WebStudy. And what I found is that sometimes if LionsDen times out, then it logs out WebStudy. And if you're in the middle of an exam, you lose your exam. So I actually have this separate, not going straight into WebStudy. But WebStudy, now there is a link from within here, the WebStudy LMS. It is rvcc.webstudy.com. Is the thing that it's called a learning management system, and this is where the details for the homework, the details for the labs, the details for the research project and research paper. It's also where the exams will be completed. It's through this learning management system. Also, either the content or links to the content will be in here as well. Now, you should have received a welcome letter from the school that has in it your ID and your password. Your ID would be your G number, and your password would be set, and it's going to be different than what your LionsDen password is. So these systems are not in sync. They're separate systems. I'm going to go into WebStudy. Now, since I'm an instructor, my look is going to be a little bit different than yours. At the present moment, I have no email, but if you do have WebStudy email, they would be here. Right now, there is an X here next to our course, but I'm going to go into it. Again, since I'm a faculty member, my view looks a little bit different. Where you're going to spend most of your time is going to be the timeline. So I'm going to go into the timeline. Now, this is where let me just collapse off. Your view might be slightly different than what I have here, but it should be close to this. And up top on the timeline are links to the syllabus and the schedule. So let me bring up the syllabus. The syllabus I have in this form as a PDF file. And what the syllabus has is information on the book, information on me, the list of my office hours. The idea behind office hours is you don't need an appointment. You just show up, and it's first come, first serve. If none of those times are good, then it would be by appointment. So in case you wanted to speak in person, that's when I will be in my office. So the other part the syllabus has is sort of policies on the course, what things are worth in terms of the course, and a little bit of information on each of the items that are here. So the syllabus is mostly the policy. I have the schedule as a separate document. And part of the reason why I have the schedule as a separate document is that suppose we do have a power outage for a week, which happened during Hurricane Sandy. We had to update our schedules at that point. And so since the schedule most likely is something that might be updated, that's why I have it as a separate file than the syllabus. What the schedule will do is it's going to list by week the topics the topics that are being covered and when things are due and what items are due. So for the first week, now I have my weeks go from Tuesdays to Monday. So our classes actually begin on Tuesday the 19th, and the first week is going to end on Monday the 25th. This first week is just an overview. There is going to be an introduction forum, and that's going to be due by the 25th. Then the 26th, that Tuesday, will begin the next week, and from then to February 1st, we'll be covering Chapter 1, and so by February 1st, then these items would be due. So the schedule then shows on a bi-week basis the material that's being covered and the items that are due at that time. The 2 weeks that are slightly different because of spring break being the week of March 7th, I don't have anything due on that Monday, March 7th. It's due the following Monday, the 14th. So this week looks like it's 2 weeks long. It's mainly because one of the weeks is spring break. The other one that's a little bit different is at the very end when the final exam would be. A suggestion that I make to everyone is if you take this schedule and you print it, as you go and complete items, you can check them off the list, and it's just a way of making sure that you're covering everything that needs to be done in terms of the course. Okay, now in terms of the details of what these items are, those are going to be in Web Study itself. So now within Web Study from the timeline, I'm going to look ahead to week 2. We'll come back to week 1. But if we look at week 2, here's an overview of the material. There's a link to a video on the material for week 2. Here I actually have a link to slides for Chapter 1. The slides I have here are at 2 per page. And so if they are printed, it's a little bit, well, it's more than 6 per page, but at least the slides are here. The other item that exists for week 2 would be the assignments. So there's a video here that's going to go through how you submit those assignments for that week 2, and the individual assignments would be here. So the homework, the details of the homework would be here. The lab, the details of the lab would be here. And then the forum, the link to the forum would be there as well. So this web study is going to be the conduit for seeing the content and for submitting the work. Now, what I do differently that compared to other teachers is in terms of my timeline, I put in there both week numbers, and then I actually put the dates that things are due. And this is just to alleviate any confusion as to when things are due. And a little strange thing about Web Study is due dates are different than end dates. So all the items here for week 2 are due February 1st. If you notice, there are end dates. End dates are the last time that you can submit something. So homework 1 is due February 1st, but the last time that you can submit it late would be February 8th. Lab 1 is due February 1st. The last time you can submit it to be late would be February 8th. The forum is due February 1st. The last date that you can submit it to be late would be the 8th. So make sure you're always noticing what the due date is. Don't just go on the end date, because then you'll be submitting things a week late, and that's, well, it's not good. Okay, now this first week coming up as part of the course overview, it's really to get acclimated to Web Study. So one thing is to do this video that we're doing, which kind of goes over the material. The only thing that's going to be due this first week, which is going to end on Monday the 25th, is going to be the introduction forum. And in the introduction forum, I did click it, didn't I? And in the introduction forum is where you're going to go and introduce yourself to the class. Okay, so let me just double check my notes. Sorry, I was just double checking my script that I have to make sure I was covering everything that I wanted to into this first week. Really the key is the timeline. Once you go into Web Study, click on the course. On the right-hand side, click on timeline. And what that will give you, this timeline, is everything you're going to need for the entire semester. The contents are, the material is from here, and then the assignments are from the timeline as well. So if you spend your time in the timeline looking at the items to be done, then you'll be, well, okay for the course. The top of the timeline, there's links to the syllabus and the schedule. And as I had pointed out, that if you did print the schedule, then you can check things off as you go along, which, you know, by the end of the semester, everything will be checked. Just have a feeling of accomplishment by doing that. I have weeks going from Tuesdays to Monday. So this first week is from Tuesday the 19th, going to Monday the 25th. And then the week 2 is Tuesday the 26th, going to February 1st. By having the dates due on Monday, all of our days are due on Monday. If something occurs over the weekend that will technically prevent you from submitting something, it can be worked out on Monday. So, so welcome to Operating Systems. Again, web study is where you'll be probably spending most of your time, and specifically the timeline. And I'll have other videos that will go through some other things, but this is just meant to be sort of an overview of the items for the course. Thank you.